Stephen A. Smith has built a $100 million empire on being the loudest person in the room. But this weekend, he was given an award from the National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ. Well, that's just to say this award was not one he wanted to get.
Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
It was the Thumbs Down Award. And why they give it to him? For disparaging black women, prominent black women, politicians, former first ladies, sports, people in media. While Stephen A. Smith claims that this is just them singling him out and he's vowing to get his comeuppance on the organization, I'm going to point out all the various instances where Stephen A. Smith has made comments about Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Reid. And I'm going to let you make your own determination if he was disparaging black women or he's just doing his job. Stick around to the end, because the pattern that we're going to unfold here is going to expose something maybe a little bit deeper than just Stephen A. Smith mouthing off. So you just heard the accusations. Now let's hear Stephen A. Smith's Twitter rebuttal. He said this on X. "This is the epitome of Christmas arriving early. The NABJ wants to call folks out? Fine. You had your turn. Now mine is coming. And make no mistake, I'm coming." Let's see who really deserves a Thumbs Down award when it comes to the black community. After I say my piece, remember, at NABJ, you asked for it. I've shut my mouth for years. Now y'all started something. I just want to remind folks that Stephen A. Smith was in pretty good standing with the NABJ.
Did you miss me? Oh yeah, I'm here. You know something? As you sit around and watch what's transpiring, you see the people in here. You see everybody up in here. We in Chicago, Illinois, everybody. Home, the spot for the National Association of Black Journalists. My man Damian Woody and Kimberly Martin is in the house. I got Monica McNutt and Janelle Gumake in the house. Y'all know what I'm about to say, right? Holla at your boy! Woo!
I mean, this clip seems like they love the guy. He's getting a lot of love from the people, shaking the first take, shirts and flags or whatever. And it's a good time, fam. I mean, I got to ask, what changed? So doing my research, I found out there were a number of prominent black women that Stephen A. Smith has called out. Jasmine Crockett, Reid, Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Serena Williams, Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. But I'm going to focus on just 3 or 4 of these. So is it true that Stephen A. Smith has gone too far in his rhetoric towards black women? Or is it that Stephen A. Smith is doing his job? Is he being a media person that's been calling it out? Is he just someone who hasn't been biased and he goes after the left and the right? I mean, inquiry minds want to know.
Jasmine Crockett. She lost her pursuit for the United States Senate seats to James Tallarico, 52.4% to 46.2%.
Way before he called her out with the James Tallarico runoff or the Democratic primary in Texas, he was calling her out for her way that she talked to Donald Trump. That's really what kind of started this. But this just goes to show he's going to make mention of it. He kept on calling her out. He kept on bringing up issues with Jasmine Crockett.
They want to tell you that she lost because she didn't ingratiate herself with Hispanics. Perhaps the most damaging thing was when Jake Tapper questioned her about an exact quote that she gave. You not. We're done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. Critics, including Latinos, called it racist and dismissive. Whereas she was focused on Trump and not giving him an inch to breathe and being all up his you know what for every little thing that he did and what the Texas say. You see, this comes back to what I was trying to say months ago, weeks ago, days ago.
See, Stephen A is admitting here that he's been calling out Jasmine Crockett over and over and over again. I mean, he just said months ago, weeks ago, days ago, he's been calling out Jasmine Crockett, giving her the benefit of his vast political experience, because we all know how much of a political commentator he's been for the last 15 years. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not him. It's me.
That's Texas. It's a little bit different down there. That is a fact.
Yeah, I think maybe Jasmine Crockett was a little bit offended that we got a guy not from Texas trying to tell her how it rolls in Texas. Jasmine Crockett from Texas? So she's from Missouri. Close enough. She's working in Texas.
As I've said on many occasions, you don't have to be extra when Trump gives you all the ammunition in the world. I saw what Megyn Kelly said about her and how Megyn Kelly basically, to some degree, took joy in her being axed. I take no joy in seeing Joy Reid axed from that time slot. As the reports go, she was making about an annual salary in the range of about $3 million a year. I don't want any money taken out of her pocket.
If I was Joy Reid, I'd probably be pissed off that he put out how much she made, as if that had anything to do with the story, but I don't know. It don't take a lot to piss off Joy Reid from my understanding. But I'm just saying, I mean, you did put a salary out there.
I don't think we're serving ourselves well. Michael Steele is going to be there as well as a replacement, along with Alicia. And you got to remember Menendez is right there as well. It's hard to make the race argument when her replacements are reported to be three individuals that already have a weekend show on the network and they're going to be inserted in the network. And I'm just reading from the reports here, okay? I have not spoken to Joy Reid. I don't know. I've had the pleasure of meeting her on a couple of occasions. I certainly respect her. And I'm not here to castigate her in any way, but we do have to talk about the business in a very, very honest and fair fashion. Since election, her ratings have dropped by 47%. 47%. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't keep your job when stuff like that happens.
So part of the beef that Joy Reid had with Stephen A. Smith is that she's saying he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And he's saying, hey, these numbers say what I'm talking about. So Joy Reid responded to him, if you recall.
Paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of Black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Black man's mouth, and I won't even say into a Negro's mouth, that's why they're paying you, my friend. It's not because you're the greatest broadcaster. You're a good broadcaster. You're a solid broadcaster. You're a little loud as a broadcaster. You scream a lot, but okay, you're a decent broadcaster. But you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. I must be everything but what I was hired for, which is supposed to be a guy who does sports. You think you know every damn thing and that you made every damn body, but just be clear. You're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us.
The way we look at it, we saw red all over the screen.
Spanked.
You need a Band-Aid, she got annihilated. That's how we look at it. I mean, she didn't win. We were predicting that the election was going to take days to decide, possibly into the weekend, and lo and behold, it took about 7 hours for us to learn, once the polls closed, that he was the president-elect of the United States. So that's what happened. And when you look at some of the issues, clearly not addressing the economy in a fashion that resonated, people talking about inflation, talking about their pockets, for Biden to come out And for him, day one, executive orders essentially opening the borders. For her to go on The View, which to me was a death knell. And speaking to Bill O'Reilly today, he had echoed that sentiment. They asked her, would she do anything different? And she said, not that I can think of. And when that happened, you just knew that she was in a world of trouble, because Trump knows how to utilize those things to his advantage.
So Stephen A. had some direct criticism for Kamala Harris, and a lot of people didn't like it. Was he disparaging her, or was he criticizing her as a journalist, as a commentator?
Asked me about my love of reality TV and The Real Housewives. I watch it all.
You watch it all?
All of it. They think that sports is better reality TV. I was like, it's the same thing. There's drama in sports.
There's so much drama.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, if I listen to ESPN for an hour, it's like watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, you know, it's the same drama, and they're yelling at each other, and they don't get along. You know, I mean, Stephen A. Smith, he's just like every other
he'd
talk
be a
show
great
host.
Real Housewife.
He would be,
Right.
right?
It would be amazing.
So that's why I'm like, what's the difference? It's just, you know, it's just sociological drama. I mean, the fact that people over seasons of working together still can't get along.
Right.
They still have the same arguments, you know, and it's not just women, but this happens in sports too.
Right.
I find it fascinating.
You know, it's the former First Lady in the United States of America. Somebody that I personally revere and believe to be the greatest First Lady in American history.
So what y'all think? Do you think that Stephen A. Smith went too far with his critiques of notable prominent black women, or was it just that he was making comments about prominent black women and nobody wants to be criticized? And, you know, how dare you? I'm gonna have to take them piece by piece, each by each, and kind of break it down a little bit. Let's start with the easiest one. What he said about Michelle Obama was nothing. Like, and what she said was nothing. Really, he should have let that go and not even criticized her about that. Maybe bring it up that she mentioned you on the podcast, which is really huge, right? But you got the former First Lady even saying your name. How about just, hey, Michelle Obama said some things about me. I can't believe it. Amazed. I disagree, but hey, it's Michelle Obama. Let the party continue. Instead, he made some criticisms of her bringing certain people on her podcast when her podcast isn't political. And then he kind of, he criticized her about making a comment about Trump when she was campaigning for Kamala Harris. Okay. Next, Kamala Harris. I mean, come on, man. She was running for president. What you gonna do? People are going to criticize you. You're running for president. They're supposed to criticize you. At this point, we got Democratic-leaning commentators who haven't truly criticized Kamala Harris on anything that she's done. And there's a whole lot about Kamala Harris to criticize. Yeah, bet that. And they haven't done it because they're afraid of exactly what happened to Stephen A. Backlash. And it won't be public like this. It'll just be very quietly, opportunities dry up. Very quietly, you're put on a don't touch list. You're being blackballed. NABJ at least put it out there for him, and I gotta say it's probably something we'll come back to in this conversation. Next, Joy and Reid. In my opinion, Joy and Reid's got no reason to complain. I mean, Stephen A. Smith is talking about another commentator. She's a commentator, fam, who another commentator talked about. The fact that she's a black woman, that don't have anything to do with the fact she was one of the most prominent, well-known commentators in the world. And she got canned. And people are going to talk about that. Stephen A. Smith didn't get her canned. He talked about her after she got canned. He wasn't talking about her when her ratings were in a slump after the 24 election. He talked about it after she got terminated, or after the project, or after her contract was terminated, however it went. The point is, he didn't have to add to her demise. He just talked about it. He didn't cause it. He didn't create it. He didn't cheer it on. It's what already happened. He reported on it, and then when she said it was race-related, well, then he came in and he did some coon stuff. So, yeah, I'm not saying Stephen A. did the right thing. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not saying it's cool. But what I'm saying is what he did disparaging, or is it just being a right-leaning commentator, which is what Stephen A. is most of the time when he ain't kissing ass. Then we have Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, the most vocally polarizing politician in the country. Let's be clear about Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett ran for Senate. Her ad didn't even have her talking in the ad. All they had was Donald Trump talking about her and her with a look on her face. Was that a good idea? Hell nah. But I don't know if that's why she lost the race, but I'm saying she seemed very self-centered. And a lot of people talked about it, but you know who did not talk about it? Liberal commentators, particularly black liberal commentators, who want to keep their DNC and DCCC money coming in and those opportunities flowing. And at the end of the day, when you add up all of these women, you come right back to that. Hey, man, I'm not trying to say that NABJ is a Democratic organization, but I'll say this. The NABJ is as close to a Democratic organization that you can be without being a Democratic organization. I mean, everything about it is pandering to the liberals. Everything about it is pandering to the Democratic Party, particularly this award. They don't get it twisted. No one's talking about other entities that got thumbs down awards. The Washington Post being one of them. No, it wasn't just Stephen A. Smith who got backlash. Let's not forget that the NABJ invited Donald Trump and Kamala Harris on their platform. Kamala doesn't show up. Trump shows up. And they try to make it hard on Trump, and they did. And they still got criticized heavily by members and by the black media for bringing Trump on. They said things like, why did you give Trump a platform? As if the entire world hasn't been talking about Trump for 10 years straight. And that's my point, folks. In this media game, if you criticize the Democratic Party or members of the Democratic Party, you're going to be in harm's way. Stephen A. Smith is just big enough that they couldn't really hurt him, and when they criticize him, he used it to his benefit. When you're not as big as Stephen A. Smith and you criticize the Democratic Party, you're basically shutting down all these types of opportunities. Because they don't want you talking about black politicians and black media, even if what they're doing is horrific and hypocritical and hurts the black community. They don't care. They care more about how things appear than how they really are. And if they care more about if you stepped out of line and said something, then they care about if that person that you're criticizing deserves criticism. It's not about deserve. It's about what they will allow. It's about optics. The timing of this seems suspect. I mean, Stephen A. Smith has been criticizing black athletes, black men. NABJ had no problems with it. At least they didn't give him the thumbs down award. Why now? Because some people are more precious than others. The number one supporter of the Democrats are black women, but number two, burning the rubber past everybody else are black men. But that's not enough to make NABJ give Stephen A. Smith the thumbs down. I mean, Stephen A. went on a hate tour of Kyrie Irving when Kyrie Irving wouldn't take the jab. NABJ didn't step in and say, bad Stephen A. Nah. So, I mean, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy here. Did Stephen A. Smith cross the line criticizing these black women? No, he did. Not in my opinion. He didn't cross the line. But I'll tell you this, Stephen A. Smith has been biased as hell. he does not give all sides of the ball the same criticism. I mean, if you're Stephen A. Smith and you don't call out Megyn Kelly on the media side, if you don't call out Nancy Mace on the political side, I mean, what are you really doing? We know what you're doing. You're cooning. And that's really the award he should have got. The Sellout Award, not the Don't Talk to Black Women Award. Now, you can talk about black women. The problem is, that's all you talk about. The dominant receiver of Stephen A. criticism has been black women. Oh, and Jason Whitlock. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Am I right about Stephen A. Smith? He should be able to criticize anybody, including black women, but he should also be criticizing anybody, including white women, white men, and Republicans. And if you want to call Stephen A. Smith out, you should be calling him out about that shit. Because that's what makes him a hypocrite. I'm Tim Black. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button and share this content. You've been watching the most dangerous show in America.